Welcome, Niakananaria Tataria. Welcome to 10/20/2020. And today we're going to talk about what is reality. And my special guest Angie. You want to say hi?
Hi. Welcome.
Iharanatariska. Isahananania. Atahara hatakaya. Chachara sananoro hoku. And interestingly, the reality, it's an interesting question, and and each of us think we know what reality is. And if we're satisfied, then we're satisfied. That's the only thing that matters. But what if you get frustrated a lot? Or depressed? Or you can't stay focused on a topic, whether it's meditation or in real life. It doesn't matter if it's physical or metaphysical. So how can you control it? How can you, to better say it, how can you be the righteous ruler of your reality? All those topics are what we're going to discuss briefly. But we're going to focus on meditation a little later. Wouldn't you like to have your results be more consistent? I mean, if you're going to learn how to cook, you're not going to do it once a month. You want to try to cook every day. That's the only way you're going to get better at it. But if you're satisfied with learning how to cook once a month, that's okay. If you're okay with eating with it, it all depends on you and your viewpoint and what you wish to get out of it. And so, like in the description below, asking where's your head at? Or what's your location? The CB talk for 10/20. Where do you want to be is the real question. I hear light language. Did you want to give a blessing there, Angie? There you go. Excellent. That's beautiful. Did you get a translation on that? Okay. So here's my crack at the translation. Blessings to you all. As we unify with God and the source within, you can do it. You can focus. You can achieve whatever your heart's desire. When you focus, your wildest dreams become reality. When you consistently send energy to it and focus upon it, it becomes real. We believe in you. Kandananiara. Arahasananiara ta atakataworo sonona. Katatananiara atahasasasaya. So no orohoku nananawartuho. So huku ushishawaya nanara hasakahe sisiana. Nihatana. Can you hear us fine? Well, I should ask that question a long time ago. Huku nananato utarwanahe sisia nanarako. Aranahata tatiri anatakaye sisaya. Tananari akatananoro husokonono. I don't know where this at that settings. YouTube is complaining about keyframes. Nihikatakari ananahatatukuto no. Maybe it's in video. Kutura nanawatata. Sisinia ta arnata katatiti arnahatatakuhu. Titiki arnahatata. We're dealing with it. Kananahatatitiri nahatakusu so. Tisasa. Maybe I can change it. So I've got to. Thank you, Heather. So I'm going to pause the broadcast for a second to change the keyframes because we're in a different environment here at Angie's. And we're back up. So we'll have Angie do another blessing. Can you guys hear us again? Check my cell phone. So we got a thumbs up there. Thank you. Okay, there we go. Excellent. So we'll take it off and let Angie do the blessing into the microphone.
Atukuria saniataka arishi shaniatako to ui, sanasiataka aniataka a, ora asaniatiki aniako tu, ishaniana, arakotu uri, ishaniataka, amaniniataka ti ura, u ashananiataka a, ona haniataka orada, yashananika.
Excellent. Thank you, Angie. Neokohorana warti tiarana. Sahawa akanana hatatitiro horna hawoko. Yes, it is much better when she speaks into the microphone. Niarana hatatitiro roto. I don't know which way to. I think I want to go this way. Nihakarama hiasa sakayato. Nahana araha itiarana hasakatakuro to nononoro shuku. When we become the righteous ruler of our reality, we're taking accountability and responsibility for what we're doing. We're not as scatterbrained all over the place. And if we wish to actually achieve results, which is where our intention comes in, intentional living is the way to go. Over time, with practice, we become more focused. And we're able to repeat the tasks and stay motivated during those tasks. And this includes meditation. Simply repeating the process often is great practice at getting better at meditation. As Abraham Hicks says, the best time to meditate is the first thing when you wake up. It doesn't matter if you're lying down, if you're sitting. What's important is that you're comfortable and that you practice. The more you practice, the more comfortable you'll get with it. Abraham Hicks suggests 15, 20 minutes max. That's all you need to meditate. And I suggest speaking sticking with it. And maybe at the beginning, if you're simply just breathing, and if all you're doing is breathing consistently for 15 minutes every day, the oxygen benefit is worth the time spent. And over time, with practice, you'll soon lose awareness of the outside world. When that happens, it matters not. What matters is that you're consistent and that you're dedicated to and you will see the results of your meditation over time. And you can journal afterwards to see how you feel. Got really frustrated. I couldn't concentrate, but I breathed. Okay, excellent. That's a good first step. Consistently breathing. And if that's all you meditate, and it's all how you meditate, there's a huge benefit to just that. And if you feel better after your meditation, that's your positive reinforcement for doing it. At the beginning, maybe you set goals. I want to meditate 2 days in a row. And then maybe you say, I want to meditate 3 days in a row. If you skip a meditation, don't worry about it. Don't get down on yourself. Just pick up the next day. And it's okay for me to meditate today. And then maybe your next goal is 4 days in a row. And then maybe 7, a whole week in a row. And if you at least write down whether you had a positive experience or a negative experience during your meditation, you can keep track of it. And then you can keep track of, hey, I felt better 7 days in a row. That's your reinforcement to continue the practice. And then later on, you can worry about mudras. So let's talk about mudras for a second. Let's talk about the Dhyana Mudra. This is my favorite mudra for meditating. And I naturally chose this mudra before I knew what it was and what it meant. And zooming in on it is that we have our left hand on top of the right hand and our thumbs are touching. I chose it simply because it's the most comfortable hand placement. And then I researched into mudras and I said, oh, that's really interesting. So the right hand represents truth. And the left hand represents illusion or the physical world. And your truth is supporting that illusion. And your thumbs are connecting the energy, creating a triangle. And the mudra itself is an energy pattern. Let's take a look at another image. And that the truth is supporting. And the energy pattern itself helps you sift through the illusion to the truth. And if this hand placement, this mudra, this gesture, if it's comfortable for you, I encourage you to use it. If you have something else that's going to help you meditate, any other hand placement. There's many times I just lay on my bed and have my hands by my side. There is no hand placement that's necessary. And sometimes I place one hand over my heart and another hand over my stomach. It matters not. What matters is the consistency and how you feel while you are meditating. And if you have any goals of what to achieve during meditation, I suggest putting those aside and simply breathe. Sohuna arakana hasasia kona uro nanara sakaya tiria nanara tlata. This mudra is also called the Samadhi Mudra, the Buddha Mudra, Katira Nahatatiara Tassa, as it encourages enlightenment. Tiharanana Tiatakawa Tatiara Sananiarata. The enlightened master simply observes the dance between truth and illusion without interacting with it, without judgment, simply observing. Nihakawara naniyara tataria sasa. Tahakuna nanuyaroto. Our need to fix it, or fix anything, or judge it, put something in the right and something in the wrong, negates the purpose of truth seeking. It is simply the root meaning of the word priest, someone who is seeking the truth. Konanahayata. Sikona arananiyara. Sohokananoroso. And this mudra has its roots in Buddhism, Hinduism, yoga. Sahananiyara tananiyara toko. Patanjali, who wrote the Yoga Sutras, wrote about Dhyana Mudra. And he wrote about 8 limbs of yoga. The yamas, the external disciplines, how we interact with the outside world. And the niyamas, the internal disciplines, how we interact with our inside world. And asana, which simply means seat or posture. While performing yoga, while practicing yoga, we practice many asanas and sometimes transitions in between asanas. And then there's pranayama, which sometimes it's interpreted as breath control. But we're intentionally controlling our breath and controlling the prana, the energy, with our breath. Is one of the most simple forms of meditation, is simply breathing in and breathing out with your eyes open or closed. And if you're having trouble focusing or meditating, I suggest you find any one of the many videos on YouTube about pranayama, and simply practice. Try to do some. Some are really, really, really funky and interesting. But continue with it. and try to do it. And notice when you're at some point in time while you're doing it. The outside world will simply just melt away as you focus on your breath. And one entire limb of yoga, pratyahara, is to withdraw the senses. And you can practice that at any time. I like to practice that while doing asana in a yoga class. I close my eyes while I'm going through my sun salutations and other postures. At the beginning, the yoga instructors are kind of freaked out because I'm not paying attention to what they're doing. So they have to choose their words. They have to make sure they explain what's the next, where are we going to transition, where are we going? Because if I'm sitting there in the last pose, not looking at the instructor for cues, you have to use words. Pratyahara happens naturally the deeper you go in meditation, where you lose sense of hearing from the outside world. Lose your sense of smell. And with advanced practice, you can lose your sense of touch. When somebody is touching you while you're in deep meditation, because you have withdrawn your senses, you don't notice a touch. Or the breeze. That's an entire limb of yoga. Just practicing that one thing. And the next limb is Dharana. Sometimes they call that concentration. Sometimes it's focus. It's our subject. It's the act of observing and concentrating on the one subject. If that's our breath, if that's our pranayama, it's the subject and object of our concentration, our dharana. And Dhyana, as they describe here in this image, it's meditative absorption. I heard it explained once that dharana is the focus and the subject of the focus, where dhyana is the observation of that focus and the observation of the subject, not judgmentally. That in and of itself is, what's the difference between those two? What? That's the art of allowing the concentration to happen, allowing the focus to achieve meaning and wisdom. Allowing. And that's simply the key to meditation, is allowing the meditation to happen. To stop trying. In samadhi, the eighth limb, some see it as a goal, this union, this integration, this wholeness. Some see it as a word. Some understand it. Some see it as a goal and continually grasp towards it. Dhyana tataya kanahasasa. The last three limbs of yoga, when combined together, there's a name for it. There's a practice called samyama niyatari hananatako. Those last three encompass the practice of meditation. Kihananiyaratanariyata. Where the yamas and the niyamas are suggestions for setting yourself up for success. And asana and pranayama are tools for achieving that meditative state. With slowly working in pratyahara, the withdrawal of the senses, so we can practice dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. Dhyana. If you've ever been to a yoga class, the whole purpose of asana and vinyasa and connecting the breath to movement and posture is to get to the end. Some call it final meditation, final relaxation. To simply relax and absorb the benefits of all that you put out and all that you gained from all that movement and posture. Not that there's anything that you need to remember. Remember, the key was allow. Chihawa arsonorio konanurota. Sahia kananaria tananarataka. So if you have not done so already, niakananariatata, I invite you to close your eyes. Niakona naharo watutura. Shishishia nananata titiria. Kutana hara hesa. Niarnata koturo. Shishia nananaro tuko. Nihakawa nananata titeta. Nanahara titira nahaka. Can we hear the music finally? Is it at a good volume? Niakona Artana hayatara takiata. Kutana nahara wutira. Kashishia hasana hayakata. Nihoko ushashishana niyarta. Tahana hayaki. Narawayata tona nuruko. Tahaye ya kananaria tanazo. Kasahananihira tanayata. Gratitude light bright. Niyakana asasasiya kananayarata. So we invite you to close your eyes. Nihakananaria tata. And slowly focus on your breath. Nihakananayarata. Sahakana ariyanariya tokonano. Breathing and relaxing. And exhale, releasing. Sahananahaya tatananayatata. Simply breathing in at a slow pace that's comfortable for you. Kananahayatitiana. And breathing out at a slow pace that's comfortable for you. Konanoru. Shishishiwyo kanananiyarata. Niha aka arasananiyaratukuroko. Sahakananiyariatananatataya kananaharutuko. Kashashishihawananiyaratata. There, I adjusted the music and the volume. And the microphone is that better. Nyakawa hanahaya. Nahasa arianana katitiara nahatakeyatata. kunanaroto kashashaya hananire. Niarnana takatiti ananahata katoko. Kanayhar nahariasansa. Matters not if you sit or lie down, as long as you are comfortable. Katiyara nahatatiara nahatakawatoro. Feel how it feels to breathe in. Feel how it feels inside your airways as the air goes through your nostrils or through your mouth. Feel how it feels when your lungs fill up, and how it feels when you exhale. Feel the warm breath. Kanahiaranaya. Kasarniri. Tutuhuro nahakatiria. Sahakaneha sahyata. Niara tutonora. Anahihia. Sihir shishokoro. Continue breathing at your own pace, deeply. Kanahasasiyanaya. Nananiyaratata. As we invite and allow the holy fire to flow in, through, and around us all, in every way, and everywhere, and every when. Niya kanananariya tananayata saya. As we simply breathe, Nioka. Hasasaniniyaratata. It shall be light language only from here to the end of the meditation. Yakawarhananiyatotorohunawaya. Kasasanahitiyorona. Hatananahaya kanahasasiya. Ishashaya nanahe kunanohurohoko. Isa naniyarta. Nayakana haisisia kaihina. Jahaya nanariyarana. Arananihiritana hayakanoro. Nariyana haryakana hayatai. Haratanana haryana haratka. Ashashananihiti. Nakawahanaha. Nida nana harasohunoroko. Akananihi Narawatatani. Atanamahi Yaya Kanahasasiya. Hakanahi Siyananihi Awatatanani. Tojkawana Isananahaya Tatayata. Uramana Asakani Aranasasawa. Hasasakaya Naniyarana Nahaya Hanahakia. Awatanahi Shawa Nakanahi Ashaya Tatira. Yawatanana Uroko Nano Huro Sokush Shawe Dhyana. Arakanahya Sakaya Ta'ana Aryara Atanyara. Ura nanihi aranaya. Kashahawanaya sona. Aratsanahi Kashashaya Tanara Sakaya Totoro Asanayara Nahya Kananira Tukon Nawayana Utuno Utora Kaya Nahasasya Tanawara Naharihana Hakiriara Anahi Ya Nahayaka Kaya Shashaya Nahate Utatakuana Iria Shaya Hatatakia Kwaya Tasha Niranaha Koyoto Ianahe Saba Kocha Aranahe So Hatananiara Awatananioko Kwai Shantiana So Ushaya Na Wakano Shishya Atnanira Tayatatoto Kokanawahasi Koshashayatania Karahiniara Tatakaskanarha Araskanahi Chiarahinia So Kanarahawa Shasho Arahaskichia Akanahorio Disia Na Tiarta Karasiya Gyana Arasaya Arasho Tarawe Kiana Tiarata Awachiarana Soko Asakayaranaye Iriarska Kawa Aranaheska Chahikatianaska Tahia Sakayana Niraso Kasha Isa Yanata Karabarso Yotori Anahi Kashi Yana Tadara Karawa Arasi Ariana Ata Kariana Sha Ariataka Awashashoyo Niaradwana Taya Tataya Sakanihi Arsana Hayo Konai Taya Tariana Kasha Asahana Taya Kana Kacha Orohosaya Yaya Kanahashia Yatana Hasasi Haya nahasa saya kwanawari. Ira nahaso. Ura sokanashi. Arava nirana. Tahaya. Kachachia. Tahaya soko. Ia tanti. Yaya tana. Aha toro. Kasha ya nahaya ha. Tahaya tatina hawaka. Altana hasa iriasa. Arakanati ora hoshoya. Kaya nahasisi. Yarnahia. Atanahisa. Sawa ayanari sakana asa atahasi. Chaya tate arna akas. Isa asa aryanasi. Hasanahia kawahano. Nahe tiara akasasiakaya. Niharvaya kishashayasa. Hayanahawara. Niharnahasi. Chaya tataria. Arehaniya. Kura husone hikishi. Narya rana. Tahya kiyana resa. Irya nasa atahayaka. Shihara nasa ataharyana. Sahakasha shiaranasa. Tiharanakasha shiaratana. Kosha shiaranihi siatakaya tiarana. Hawanaya tanana saya katayari skayasha. Hatanahu. Yatana. Kayasha taka. Nishanani. Tiranaha. Iatachir natananaha. Kwaihia kaigaska panara siharnata. Kayanari arasai. Shaya nara ha. Kaya shasa irhananta. Chakana asa ata. Hyakana arasashyatira. Kaya nahresa. Narvosuko urusonati narisaka sasasianahatenia. Hahianahina kawaniri aranahasi. Hanahikana aranasaya. Narahasana huyana. Shianaya. Tahanahiko Awaihanaya Kuchana Wayana Ahianahisia Aya Nadia Nahaka Ya Naya Hana Kaini Tiarna Sasaha Sahi Kanta Rasaya Tari Hisana Takaji Arnatata Kwaiha Santa Shiha Quanta Vaisha Vaija Vyaya Soha Hanahawa Ira Yana Kwaya Nira Tata Nosha Uya Tira Taka Taranahasi Warantanati Kana Harvanita Taranahasakai Niara Uravanahi Di Arnahasisi Kai Shashyanataya Tihianahasawaraya Noro Hukutonan Nevoro Sukoye Harnaheriara Yarnate Yarvanaye Onana Huruhusi Tawa Hashyani Yarwa Kashahaniara Karavanasi Yanahena Isha Hesa Varya Nasaso Shahya Sotarana Denaye Titi Anaro Shahasasihanahe Kitio Vatarwai Nyara Sanara Kachiherini Dironoro Kura Sukushishu Niaranahe So Ushashayi Kuna Horosono Kashashila Narahanako Nahasasasiya Konao Ishaya Nanita Kasha Yanakawa Hanano Chahisu Nanyuro Kura Nawarusuya Ya Taharia Nahasuko Ura Shushuyu Nuruho Gecharwana Ihorota Tihisana Noro Kanoro Shishya Kawani Arama Kasasiya Nanyere Sanao Kanaha Sasisahe Naha Nyawahasha Niro Konawaya Tinayana Ya Kocha Anahaya Sakawaha Hasanani Haranahe Tiara Kocha Arana Arasahayanaha When you are ready, the Kia Nahasa Sakawayano Nara Nanaya Koshashawayana Narwa Sukayat Niarana. Slowly make your way back to the here and now. Kanahasa Sisiarnoro. Slowly deepen your breath. Nihakananihisa. Shashaya Nanaro Toko. Maybe start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Kanahewasisiwi Noro. Start pumping the blood a little more. Nihakona Noro Suko. Maybe shrug your shoulders a little bit. Move your head around. Takanehara Tawarwa Naharoso. Kachaharna Hariara Tata Kanarawaso. And when you're ready, Nohorawatakaya Sananaratuko. Open your eyes. Nihakatakaria Rata. Sohukana Harehatata Nananartatirana. Sahakananiara Tanaharsukoro Soko. Sahananiara Takanana Horosoko. Hope your meditation was relaxing. Kia Nananaria Toto. And if you feel like journaling, Kia Nananaria Watahura Harshakawara Watoto. We encourage you to write it down. Doesn't matter if it's in a notebook with pen and paper, or if you write yourself an email like I like to do. Kananihi tiata nananiara tata. Kita na harehanaha sikiha. Chawarvayana tikia. Hatananihira naha sakoro hokawara nari sihatierna. Karanahare atakoro anaha sakaya. Kananari hisatiar naharatati tiar naharto. Tokahana hasia. Narihata narihatakana wariataya. Harihana hasiata. Chadyawa naharatakachi arasanayata. Kata aranahatakasa soyara. Kutana nahariata arashakaya nanirata. Sahayakanananiria so to the Norotoko. And by watching this and meditating, Niakanawara so. If you've received any insights or any wisdom worth sharing, comment below. Kanahati tiara nahatati aranada. Tohukana waria nahasaka hiaranaha. Totarwanai arana. Karyanahara sakanani aratanta. Each of us have a different viewpoint. And our viewpoint changes from now to now. Where would you like it to go? Where would you like your manifestations to go? By meditating and letting go of expectations, even expectations we place on ourselves, we can actually listen to our heart. What it's trying to say, what it wants to create. Ignoring all programming pushed in by the outside world and the programming pushed in by our mind and our ego. Wouldn't you like to set your heart free and co-create with the universe in bliss? Sokana hawaratanani aratanana. Toria hanahaki arsa. Kocha hawarna. Siarana hatakati aratata. Konana oro tokurwata arnaha takananaria tanata tatishishoyawa. Many blessings to you, Nahataki aranahatakasana nayarata. Iriana harakotoro sukunana hurtokorotaka. And I would like to thank you for sharing in my highest bliss. And I invite you to place your hands in prayer position in Anjali Mudra. As we share our bliss and we share our gratitude and we recognize each other from our heart centers to the other heart center. From the Master within to the Master within. Namaste, my friends. Make it a great day, my friends. Because why would you leave it up to anyone else? Iaranahatakasoho. Chawaya nanariataka.